The old stump behind me is very interesting. It's a fine example of early European history and one of the icons, I guess, of the day in relation to when the first settlers came through this country. They needed lumber, needed timber, they had to build fences, they had to build houses. So basically everything they built came from the land. And in the red gum country, what is a better timber than red gum to put in the ground? And at that stage, a lot of the solid trees were picked out as being available for timber. They left all the hollow trees, and they're the ones that are remaining remnants today, basically. But this stump behind me is quite interesting. You can see that it's been fallen a long way off the ground. The reason for that is because they only had crosscuts and axes. There was no chainsaws in those days. They had to get up above the buttress of the root. So they got up as high as possible by, you'll notice axe cuts in the tree. Those axe cuts are to put planks in so that the fallers could stand on those planks and either use an axe or use a crosscut to fall the tree. And you'll see that there is a straight cut where the tree is to fall. In fact, I'm in the felling direction of this tree because you can see the bottom cut is lower than the back cut. So that standard still applies in relation to whether you're using a crosscut or a chainsaw, but this is the way they did it. And they were very good at it. It only took about 3 cuts with the axe to make the step. 3 cuts to make the step. A plank that was tapered on one end would be just basically sat in that particular cut. When the axeman stood on that plank, there was enough weight on it, and the fulcrum of it would keep the plank in the cut, which is pretty exciting because they obviously didn't want to fall. But there are a lot of examples of these trees about, but this is one which has been from around the local area. It wasn't actually here. We cited it here as an example, but there are quite a few through the forest and on private property that still remain as examples of the early settlement and how they used to get timber, fall trees, and still get their lumber.